I'm trying something I've never tried before. I'm planting potatoes in the fall this year. Let me know if you think I'm going to get a harvest. Now you can plant potatoes in the fall in northern and southern zones. You just do it a little differently and the harvest will be at different times. For us in the south, we can get a harvest in winter. The potato plants will come up in a couple of weeks, grow through the fall and winter, and hopefully give us potatoes in just a few months. For those of you up north, your potatoes will sit in the ground and you won't have to worry about planting them in the spring when there's so much other work to be done. They'll keep an eye on the calendar and come up when the weather is just perfect for them, and it will probably result in an earlier harvest for you. And we all know this works. If you've planted and harvested potatoes before, you've probably missed a few and they came up the following year. So again, this will work almost anywhere, but it has to be done a bit differently depending on where you live. If you live where the ground freezes, plant potatoes about 8 inches deep and mulch the bed with a few inches of straw or some other kind of mulch. Try to find larger potatoes than you normally would plant because they have to store all winter in the ground and have enough energy to push up their leaves through all of that soil and mulch. Also, it's sometimes the practice to cut a potato up into several pieces as long as each piece has an eye, and then you can plant each piece and each one will grow into a new plant. If you live where the ground freezes, and even here I'm not going to do that in the winter time, just so they have enough energy to kind of get going when they're ready, especially without chitting them. So if you have a mild winter with no freezes like I do, you can plant them about 4 to 5 inches deep, which is what I'm going to be doing here. Make sure you don't plant potatoes where either tomatoes or potatoes have grown in the past couple of years because they share the same diseases and they can overwinter for a few years in the soil. Like I said, I'm planting store-bought potatoes. I get asked all the time when I plant the seed potatoes if grocery store potatoes work. They're definitely cheaper. Now, I've always heard that they are more disease prone, but now I will get an opportunity to find out for myself. One benefit of seed potatoes is you know the variety. You know, these just say Sunburst Blend Organic Potatoes. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you can actually find that blend with seed potatoes. So if we really love these, we won't necessarily get a chance to grow the same variety next time unless I save the ones that we harvest and then plant them again the next season. So for me, that would be spring. But if you're just doing it once a year, you try to store those until the next time to plant, which would probably be the following early spring for you if you're in a cold climate. I'm planting these about a foot apart and throwing some Neptune's Harvest kelp meal and some crab and lobster. You can also use bone meal and blood meal. Keep the ground moist, and in a few weeks down south or a few months up north, you'll start to see the green shoots poking through the ground. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this works. It would be great for me to be able to grow potatoes basically year round. And hopefully for you guys with cold winters, it will save you some work in the spring by getting it done now. Also, I hope I get good results from the grocery store potatoes because they are seriously 75% cheaper than buying seed potatoes. If you guys learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.